We're doing the prompt Islamophobia today. I'm Gabe.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Shane.
All right. So I think to tackle Islamophobia today, we kind of have to backtrack to 2001 or 9/11 because I think that's where Islamophobia, especially in America, was more like most prevalent. So yeah, I mean, like if we see how culture has like shifted, especially around like what Islam means for America and Americans. Um, and we've kind of just created like propaganda in a way that's kind of subtracted their culture into being more like primal and destructive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Um, Although, like, for many Americans might be scared of um, Islam, it's actually the world, one of the like rising stars of the religious world at like right now. And I think it's really interesting that there's also a lot of famous Muslim celebrities. Like, can we name some of those?
Um, yeah, yeah, like the top G, uh, my boy Andrew Tate, um,
Kareem,
Kareem. That's an old head one.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I
Mike
don't know any
Tyson.
Muslims. Is Mike? Is that true?
yeah, that
My
is
dad's
true.
best friend.
Okay. Um, no, but I think you brought up a good point how Islam is the fastest growing religion, yet America is still kind of like not really opened up itself towards it. Probably because I guess it's not as popular in more Western countries. Uh, but at some point, America does kind of need to kind of be more welcoming towards Muslims and like their culture.
hmm I think it's pretty normalized to just like discriminate against Muslims or just have negative like views on them just from the beginning. No matter like before you know someone is Muslim, it's usually pretty. People don't have the best view on them, especially in certain places like Southern America. It gets really bad, and like anyone just from the Middle East is just lumped into like Muslim and then terrorist. And it's just a snowball of like just like hate towards that group.
I think one of the reasons why Islamophobia is so prevalent is because although you said some people like discriminate before they even know someone is Muslim, there are a lot of like signs that someone's Muslim. Like the hijab is pretty. It's pretty.
Yeah, no, I think that you like Islam's like such a like way of life as a religion that it's kind of I guess not obvious, but it is kind of prevalent in your lifestyle.
Yeah,
In ways that like Christianity isn't or how it's practiced within America. So yeah, I mean I do think like it's just kind of abnormal within traditional American culture and it's kind of easy to spot. Uh
Yeah, and it's not even just American culture though. Like in Ireland, I notice it a lot because like a lot of um, what's it called, refugees are sent. Like Europe pays money to Ireland for refugees and to go there, and there's like a lot of people in Ireland are pretty like racist towards Muslims and like because they just see them as people who are getting forced into their country and like taking stuff from them, even though it's not really their fault at all.
yeah, no, I mean oh yeah, what were you saying, Shane?
I was just gonna say, Sam, that's like an interesting point. Talking about how a lot of people tie Islam to other types of discrimination.
Yeah, no, I mean I think it's kind of like interesting, uh, especially because like wars within the Middle East, with Muslims or Arab people taking refuge in different countries, how some countries are less willing to take in those people because of their religious background. Um, so yeah, no, I think Sam's point on like kind of the racism within Ireland is kind of like it can be afflicted towards other countries and areas of the world.
Hmm. Yeah, and I know like I saw it in England too, actually a lot. It was in like yeah, it's just pretty common across all Europe, because I think Europe is different in America in how they treat Muslims, but equally, or they're both equally like bad. It's different, but it's just bad. Like America, like you said, is more like the 9/11 like terrorist view, and then Europeans have like they like take it's like more like how Americans consider like uh a lot of people like blame immigrants from like Mexico for stealing jobs and stuff. It's more similar of that idea in Europe compared to here. They feel like they're taking jobs, taking money from them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of been perpetrated by the global war on terror from like George Bush's presidential like run, and like a lot of Western European countries joined that to counter terrorism, which is kind of just a way of countering Muslims.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that it is kind of like terrorism and Islam have been like kind of used to points where they seem like the same, even though they're very different. Um, and it's just extremism, which can be found within any like mainstream religion.
On that
Uh,
point of like extremism, there was that thing that we talked about in was it France, where like they made a picture of Muhammad and then a really extremist group did a terrorist attack on them, and it was just like it's always just extremist groups are usually like when an extremist group does something, the whole group is blamed, even though when it's such a big religion, there's so many different groups and thoughts and like ideals across. There's no point in equating one group to another, really. Like an extremist towards the general Muslim population.
no,
Yeah,
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 yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Uh, I think also another point of Islamophobia is just like how like it's not really taught. Because like not a lot of people know what like Islam really is, other than like traveling to Mecca and like Ramadan. I feel like people don't really understand like the religion itself.
Do you think it's gotten worse or better in the last like 10 years?
I think well, I think it's gotten better in the sense of like information,
Hmm.
like especially with like internet and stuff. Like kind of like people's lifestyle and traditions have gotten significantly more like widespread.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like oppression and like hate crimes, and no, it's not gone like better.
Hmm.
Mm, are you sure that you're learning more information about it, or is it just you're getting older, so you're learning about it? Like,
Oh
do you think they teach about Islam in middle school?
no, I didn't learn about Islam in
Yeah,
middle school.
I learned
Oh
Islam
really?
in middle school. It was part of my world religion stuff. I mean, I didn't go to a Catholic middle school. I went to just a private middle school. So like we kind of just covered like broad religions. So maybe that's why. So I don't know about public schools, but I know at least for like non secular private schools, we learned about like world religion or Islam
Yeah, I
specifically.
only learned about Judaism and Christianity in my like eighth grade religion course, which kind of covered a lot of stuff like that, and Buddhism, which was random. But yeah, no Islam.
Do you guys think like public schools would be allowed to teach about religion? Because I know they can't, like, I know the establishment clause forces them not to establish a religion, but would it be inappropriate to teach like anything
I'm
like
pretty sure.
that, you think?
I think they do. I think there's world religion courses in public schools that teach about stuff like that.
Well, I mean, religion is an important part of like culture, so you kind of need to understand
Yeah,
like different religions. That's I mean, I feel like public schools are you can like teach religion without like practicing it. I mean,
that's what we do in
it,
world religions.
yeah, like Dr. Kohler isn't a Muslim, a
But
Hindu.
we go to a private school, so it doesn't matter.
No, but like
But
if
that still doesn't make it like that's yeah.
public schools they you can't like it can't be organized under a religion, but you can teach different
Yeah.
like religions.
Do you think like the influencers who are like I don't know, like Andrew Tate we talked about earlier is like positive for Islamophobia? Like, do you think it gives people more of a positive view or more of a negative view? I think it's definitely
I
more.
feel
I
I
think
feel
negative.
like I don't know if I don't think it really affects anything to like. I don't think Andrew Tate has like negatively impacted Islam.
I
And
think
like,
not in like a huge way, but I think in people's minds who are consuming, or people who don't like Andrew Tate, seeing like him talking and taking stuff out of context to use for his own ideals, I think that could cause a bad view on Islam if people aren't educated on it and then they just what they're seeing is what he's saying about Islam. I think that could cause negative thoughts and minds, but that's only for probably a small amount of people who don't really know that much about Islam already.
I feel like Andrew Tate kind of just he just kind of I just don't think he affects Islam that much. Like I don't think people when people think of Andrew Tate, they don't really think of like Muslim. I feel like they just think more of like a chaser, a player, like someone that's like I don't know, different, like kind of separated from Islam.
I'm just cutting this part out. This is just like insane.
Okay, okay. What to talk about? Oh,
Islamophobia today.
yes, I do actually.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
So, I think one of the leading things causing Islamophobia is definitely the media. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't really see much about Islam like in the media at all, like movies or anything. Like I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I feel like when like the Middle East or Islam is like portrayed in the media, it's just kind of like a desert, and like people are just kind of like riding around in horses and shit, or horses and stuff. Uh, I don't feel like it's kind of portrayed really at all.
The only time I've ever seen it is this one really old show where this guy travels. He's like a moron and he travels around the world, and he was just really like he walked around the Kaaba and stuff, and it was just really like I don't know. It didn't really teach me much. It was more just him making fun of their culture. So yeah, I agree. It's a lot of like not a lot of education and more just either poking fun or like showing like well it's just desert out there.
Yeah, like it's just kind of like people smoking a hookah, and,
Yeah, exactly. That's what he
like
did on the show
with a
too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like probably this is kind of silly, but I think the best way to educate people about like Islam would probably have to be like a Disney princess or something because like I've learned a lot about like different cultures from Disney.
Isn't like Jazz like Aladdin? Isn't that a
Oh
princess?
yeah,
Like
but it's
Jasmine's that?
But that
yeah.
didn't really have much to do with like I don't know anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if Disney princesses is the best way to show off.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That might be a myth, to be honest. I feel like Moana didn't like help people learn about Pacific Islanders.
Well, that would be
I
like the
think
best case one. If anything, where's like the is there any like have you seen any like Catholic princess or like Jewish princess that's showing you off how to
no,
Uh,
but what I'm
is
trying
there?
to say is the
Moses,
movie.
Moses, Moses.
Yes,
What?
the Moses movie. That's a good movie. There's a movie too,
Oh,
the
okay.
live action. They make those Jesus movies. I mean, like, there's just
Okay, but that's
nothing
not a
like
Disney. I know what you mean.
yeah, but we just need more like
Yeah,
Muslim movies.
Muhammad movie.
Yeah, for like the
Yeah,
upcoming world's biggest religion, there needs to be a lot more like media. I
yeah.
think about it to make people more knowledgeable on the subject.
Yeah.
It probably exists. It's just like not Western.
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean,
Yeah.
we say this like there needs to be more movies, but I guess like we don't really like look for them in a sense either.
Well, I'm not
Like
looking.
do
Yeah, that's true.
do people really are looking for like a new Muslim hit? No.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I think that's more from like a American lens where we don't see that because it's also like that religion. Islam is huge and like it's not. Wait, how do you know how prevalent it is in like San Francisco and like the West Coast?
Not very.
Okay, yeah, and like
It's not very.
it's not that prevalent in the United States in general, right? It's more,
No.
yeah. So
It's most popular in like Asia,
mhm,
then the Middle East, then Africa, and then probably like
Europe and then America.
yeah, yeah, Europe and
Right.
America are like basically tied.
Hmm.
And then Latin America is like at the bottom.
And like we said, the two most like racist places towards Islamic people are Europe and North America. So it's probably is just a lack of education on the subject and biases that they've had for a long time. So yeah,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching this podcast, Dr. Kohler. We really
Bye, Dr.
appreciate.
Kohler. Bye, Dr. Kohler.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye, Dr. Kohler.